Warmly welcome the Principal of Sujatha Vidyalaya Nugegoda, Madam Ranmali Pereira, the Principal of Highlands College Maharagama, Madam Malani Abesekara Disanayaka, the Vice Principal of Sujatha Vidyalaya Nugegoda, Madam Indika Vangasekara, Honorable Adjudicators, Coordinators, Sectional Heads, Grade Heads, Teachers, Parents, and my dear sisters and brothers, to the inaugural debate between Sujatha Vidyalaya Nugegoda and Highlands College Maharagama. Today's motion is proposed by Highlands College Maharagama, and the opposing team will be Sujatha Vidyalaya Nugegoda. The speeches for today should be 3 minutes and 15 seconds. There will be one clap to signal the completion of 3 minutes. Continuous clapping at 3 minutes and 15 seconds, signaling the speaker to end the speech immediately. The adjudicator for today's debate is Mr. Dinusha Pathirana, a final year law student of Sri Lanka Law College and a graduate from the University of Sri Jayawardenepura. Over to you, Mr. Pathirana.
Thank you, Binadi. I hope everyone can see me, and so now we'll be starting the debate. And before I start, so I hope that both the teams are aware of all the rules and the regulations and the topic and everything, and that both the teams are prepared. So I will first invite the first speaker of side proposition, Netusala Adulya. Please excuse me if I mispronounce the names because I'm not very familiar with the names. So I will invite the first speaker of side proposition from Highlands College, Ms. Netushali Adulya, to start the debate. Please give me 1 second before you start, because I'll be playing the stopwatch, and you'll be able to see the screen on the stopwatch. Can you see the screen with like a timer? I hope you can. Okay, so if you can, once you start, I will be starting the stopwatch. You can start.
A very good evening, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, opposition team members, and my fellow members. Today, we are going to speak about advantages of having pets. As the first speaker, I will be speaking about unconditional love and stress relief for pet animals. Isari Piaji, our second speaker, will speak about how we get safety from pet animals and how animals are being helped during this pandemic situation. As the third speaker, Ramka Jaitalaka will focus on health benefits from pet animals. As the last speaker, Saif Himayat will speak about how pet animals get a new family and shelter for them and compassion towards them. Once our Lord Buddha said, when a man has pity on all living creatures, then only is he noble. With almost no effort at all, pets manage to bring us so much joy into our lives. They make us laugh, comfort us when we are sick or upset. Not to understand the bond between human and beast, though or realizes how much pets do for their owners. My first point is, if you live by yourself, it can get awfully lonely at home unless you have a pet. Pets bring so much to our lives: happiness, joy, and unwavering devotion. The mental benefits of pet ownership is even more valuable during such stressful time like global pandemic, especially in a quarantine situation. Not your life being home alone, but having a cat or a dog, it can make you feel love and joy. No matter what kind of pet you get, you should experience increased joy and love. They have a way of calming us down and helping you to turn around a bad day. My second point is, modern life is more stressful. Luckily, pets can really make us relax. Stroking your cat or simply watching fish swim in a tank can make your worries melt away. According to the Center of Disease Control, website studies have shown that pet owners tend to have low blood pressure and cholesterol levels. Dr. Edward Dragon, an oncologist in Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, says that getting a pet is one of the most easiest and most rewarding ways of living longer, healthier life. Honorable judges, I would like to highlight helping to look after a pet can facilitate numerous aspects of child's emotional development. Research shows that reading to a loyal and non-judgmental companion, such as a pet, can encourage reluctant readers to read aloud, which will in turn boost their self-confidence. Having companions talk about their feelings and also help children feel secure, while it's developing their communication skills and feelings of empathy and trust. Honorable judges and my fellow members, I firmly believe that is a very advantage for us to have a pet in our household. Think twice and take your right decision. Thank you.
I thank the speaker for that speech. Now I invite Ms. Faraza from Sujatha Vidyalaya to do the first speech for side opposition. When you start, I'll be starting the stopwatch.
Good evening, Honorable Adjudicator. Today, I'm here to speak about disadvantages of having a pet. It's not easy to become a pet owner as you think. With the idea of having a pet comes with a lot of responsibilities. It is like maintaining a baby. It's important to remember that pets are a lifetime project. They are living beings that depend on you for their survival. So, my dear sisters and brothers, don't think that it's easy like maintaining a plant. A pet is always coming to you with huge responsibilities. So, my first point is cost. Pet ownership is not cheap. Dogs and cats needed to be vaccinated. The cost of having a pet is depend on the size of the pet and the breed of the pet. The idea of having a pet until you get it. Imagine the cost you needed to be spent upon a dog or a cat. As we all know, good breeds are very expensive. You might think that is just a one-time expense, but the regular requirements of your pet can get heavy on your pocket. Consider that pets can get sick and have unplanned medical expenses, which can add up to keeping a pet. Each vet visit, testing, medications, which can add up to considerable expense. Buying clothes, toys, shampoos, food with good quality, and other accessories can knock off your budget. Not only those, what about nutrition? We must give them a lot of nutrition. Think about this. Maintaining a pet is always an extra cost for your pocket. The other major point is social effects of having a pet. Have you ever thought of social effects of having a pet? I hope you never. We are not living alone. Most people have neighbors, whether they are on top, on either side, or both. You should consider whether how a new pet will affect your neighbor's quality of life. Did you know that if a dog bites an outsider, he can file a case in the courts? Cats and dogs left to wander outside may cause damage to other people's gardens and homes, as well as leave messes behind. After these, do you believe that pets play an important role? So, you also said that we have a pet because we feel lonely. What do you mean by loneliness? You mean a person who stays alone? Loneliness means
I thank the first speaker from side opposition for that great speech. Now I invite the second speaker from side proposition, 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐬, to start her speech. You can start, 𝐂𝐨𝐬, if you're ready.
a very good evening to all of you. I would like to add some valuable points on advantages of having a pet. As my lead explained about unconditional love and stress relief, honorable judges, my first point is how pet animals help us by increasing our safety. Secondly, how pet animals are being helped in the pandemic situation. The greatness of a moral judged by the way its animals are treated. Mahatma Gandhi said, as pet owners, we already know there are countless benefits of having a pet. They give us priceless benefits too. Most importantly, security. Therefore, police, army, and more rescue services take dogs and cats by people, murder cases, and etc. Dogs barking can deter burglars and alert residents and neighbors. Studies show that burglars are less likely to their targets. Dogs and cats have good increase of smelling, hearing, eyesight, and general knowledge. My first example will be in India. Mr. Kumar woke up from the noise and saw a big, large cobra in his bed. Then his dog barked and killed the fearsome cobra, but unfortunately, the cobra bit the dog and it passed away. It saved his whole family members and master from a big disaster which could happen to their precious lives. Not only India, in many places in the whole wide world, and not only dogs, cats, even lions also have saved people's lives. Now take your attention to my next point, which is how pet animals are being helped in the pandemic situation. According to the current situation, there are some grandmothers and grandfathers live alone in their places due to lockdown or pandemic situation. Most of their pets take care about them by keeping them active, like running in the houses, do exercises, and etc. Pets can tell you to do things that are good for your own mental health. Research has also shown that animals help adults cope better with the social isolation, that is being physically separated from others, and with loneliness. Studies have proven human and animal companionship provides multiple advantages, including physical and psychological. These animals can be great source of entertainment, distraction, and companionship. Just about 15 minutes interaction and with companion animals can help release a variety of helpful neurochemicals in our body. All students join to online classes at schools, but if they have pets, they can release all their stress by playing. So animals give us happiness, help us, secure us, and we can motivate our day-to-day things that are good for our own lives. It won't be a big responsibility because pet is also a family member. If we keep the pet in our homes, so it won't crush anything outside in the garden or neighbors. So now I think you agree with me. So you should know you must have to have a pet. Think twice and take the correct decision whether having a pet is an advantage or not. Thank you.
I thank the second speaker from side proposition. Now I invite the second speaker from side opposition, Miss 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐬 Jayamanna, to start her speech. Miss 𝐂𝐨𝐬, if you're ready, you can start, and I'll be starting stop.
Good evening, Honorable Adjudicator. My friend was talking about the expenses and the social effects that a pet owner must face. And I'm going to point out another few issues that a pet owner must face. One of the major points is time commitment. What is time commitment? Time commitment means our valuable time being missed. As we all know, pets need time from you. Let's think. A dog still needs to be walked and cleaned up at least 2 times a week. But some dogs also prefer grooming than washing. Do you know? Cats need her litter box cleaned and changed. And small animals such as hamsters, rabbits require additional care because their living spaces need regular cleaning. Rabbits fear loud noises. They will die because of it. So we must think about them as well. Without destroying their natural lifestyle, we must keep them safe. For that, we must commit a lot of time and effort to your pet even though you have a fixed busy working schedule. One should always be there to feed them, play with them and make them feel good. They need your attention and someone who looks upon them. Another point is they require a shelter. When you own a pet, you also need to make sure that you provide them with a proper shelter where they feel comfortable. You cannot let them sleep on your beds because of the hygiene issues. And that is why it is an important requirement for all pets. For dogs, we must give them a proper bed. And for cats and birds, we must give them a proper cage. And for pets like rabbits, we must give them a proper shelter quite similar to their natural habitat. They want space to hop and they like to be in open areas. Most of the people with pets live in the houses with small gardens. So how would they give extra space to their pets even though they don't have space to walk even? Just now, my dear friend Nethishali told us that Lord Buddha said animal cruelty is not a good thing. But now I'm going to show some more effects about animal cruelty. Cruelty to animals, also called as animal abuse, is the infliction. Animal abuse is something that's reported in the news. As my first point, people have a hard time thinking because they have nothing left to do. They just throw away these valuable pets into the wild. Next, some people chain lots of kinds of pets, treat them as they are a prisoner, and let them go out in the burning sun without any food or without any bit of drink. Some pets sacrifice themselves and get wounds, and some get diseases that are impossible to cure. So you see, though we take care of these animals as our pets, they get a big cruelty from us people. So when these kinds of things happen, will you just mind your own business? Hope my dear friends answer these questions as well. Thank you.
I thank the speaker for her speech. Now I invite the third speaker from side proposition, Ramika Jayathilaka.
Until one has loved an animal, a part of one's soul remains unawakened, said Anatole France. Now, I am going to speak about another advantage of having a pet, that is, health benefits. There are many health benefits of having a pet. Pets can improve your mental well-being as well as your physical activeness. My first point is that pets can improve your emotional state. They can help you when you are in a sad or angry mood or when you feel lonely. Pet owners are less likely to suffer from depression than those without. Stroking, hugging, or otherwise touching a loving animal can rapidly calm and soothe you when you are stressed or anxious. During this COVID-19 pandemic, social isolation and the loss of our daily routines has put a serious emotional strain on all of us. Research has shown that where there is a bond between human and animal, the presence of a non-human companion, especially a dog, decreases psychological arousal and stress and creates physiological changes that make us feel better. My second point is that many sicknesses such as blood pressure and cholesterol levels can be decreased if you have a pet. Studies have proven that heart attack patients with pets survive longer than those without. And pet owners of age 65 make frequent visits to their doctors. Research at the University of California concluded that Alzheimer's patients suffer less stress and have fewer anxious outbursts if there is a dog or cat at home. People, especially children who are exposed to pets, have a strong immune system and an increased overall enthusiasm. Studies have shown that pets can calm hyperactive or aggressive kids, and children who grow up with pets have less risk of developing common allergies and asthma. My last point is that if you have a pet, the opportunities for exercising, outdoor activities, and socialization can be increased. All the above facts emphasize that having a pet is a health benefit for all of us. Honorable judges, the opposition team brought out a point saying that time commitment, that looking after a pet consumes your valuable time. But if you consider all the benefits and the bond between human and animal, the time and energy will be worthwhile. They create a very positive environment within your home. Do you know that sharing the love and care of a family pet forges an additional common bond among siblings? Thank you.
I thank the speaker for that interesting speech. Now, I invite the third speaker from side opposition, Ms. 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐧𝐬 to start her speech.
Good evening, Honorable Adjudicator. After listening to all the points made by my friends, I would like to point out a few more disadvantages of having a pet. Firstly, when you have certain kinds of pets like dogs or cats, it can restrict our traveling during vacations. In Sri Lanka, most hotels are not pet friendly. And also, these pets may find it hard to travel for longer periods of time. And some people may not like the smell of dogs or cats, or they might be allergic. Some pets like rabbits could be timid, or birds could be noisy, and this might disturb the other people who are traveling. So when traveling, we might have to keep our pets at pet care, and this could be very costly, or we might have to ask someone to take care of them. Also, pets could react differently when they are in public. They could attack someone if we don't supervise them when we are out. If we have a busy life or travel a lot, having a pet may not be a good idea. Sometimes when we have pets, it's hard to have guests, as I said earlier. Not everyone will be comfortable with our pets. They may not like to see fur all over our house or will not like the smell, especially with cats. Pets are not meant to be caged or tied up as they are innocent animals. Not treating them well will be animal cruelty. As my last example, I would like to say, when we have fish that need oxygen, if the power goes out, what will happen? I have experienced this. Once my aunt went on a trip. She has a big fish tank and she asked my father to take care of her fish. Once it rained and my father couldn't go. The next day we went, all the fish were dead. It was a heartbreaking moment for my aunt. Think about it, that will happen to us too. As my friends pointed out, pets need a lot of our time, care and effort, and therefore we need to think twice before breeding. Even though my friend in the opposite side said you can use modern technology for protection, example CCTV camera. But for modern technology, you don't need to use pets. You can use a CCTV camera or a speaker to detect, and even you can have a security guard. And as my opposition speaker said, health benefits. What about the diseases you get when you can release your stress? You don't need pets to release your stress. You can read a book, or you can listen to music, and you can even write a story. And you talked about this that you will not get asthma or heart attack when you have pets. Thank you.
I thank the speaker for that speech. Now, I invite the last speaker from side proposition, 𝐂𝐸𝐵.
Let's fight for those who cannot fight. As Marty Baba said, I have the great power to speak a great language. As my fellow members explained, I'm going to explain about advantages of having a pet. Pets like dogs can assist people who are deaf or have hearing loss. Pets can also assist people with physical disabilities, autism, mental illness, or other types of disabilities. No matter what size pet you own, just find an opportunity to take care of another living creature provides a wonderful setting for teaching the importance of caring something beyond ourselves. Caring something beyond ourselves may seem easy, but in reality, it is a very important undertaking which teaches us to learn more about others and how to take care of their needs while still managing to successfully care for ourselves at the same time. Secondly, the mental benefits of a pet's ownership are even more valuable, including stressful times as a global pandemic, especially during a contact situation when you have little contact with the outside world. According to the researchers of Oxford University, more than 50% of households in the UK are estimated to own at least one pet. And since the outbreak of COVID-19, there has been an unprecedented increase of animal adoption and purchases. As people seek animal companionship to tackle feelings of isolation and anxiety. My last point is family and shelter for new member. If you decide to have pets, not only you are bringing a new family member, but also you are giving it something called home. Imagine someone who was starving to death now has roof over it and good food to eat. How amazing does it sound? My team members proved that having a pet gives us lots of privileges like unconditional love, increased safety, awareness relief, and also expressive care. That having a pet is an advantage to us. Having a pet can be like changing experience. Yes, it is an amazing experience. Coming to some rebel points on the judges, opposition brought out the point cost. No, it's not an extra expense. No, as it helps to keep our mind occupied. On this, let me team has proved that has used facts, evidence, and has appeared to high values to prove the advantage
and I'd like to rest my case. Thank you very much.
I thank the speaker for that speech. Now, I invite Ms. Mihini Gunaratne to do the final speech for side opposition.
Good evening, Honorable Adjudicator. I was listening to your speeches, but I disagree with you. I would like to point out some important disadvantages caused by owning a pet. Pets can be very dangerous. Those who are very friendly with you might scratch or bite you, causing many infections. You know, even I have personal experience. A friend of the opposition suggested that pets can increase our immunity, but pets are dirty. They go to dirty places and pick up all the germs and viruses. Then what happens is, if a person is playing or sleeping with such a dirty pet, they can be infected by many harmful viruses. These viruses they carry might be harmful for people who are suffering from breathing problems. Infants and kids younger than 5 years old are at risk because their immune system is still developing. Sometimes deadly diseases like rabies, fever spread by ticks, skin infections, worm infections can cause serious problems. You know, dogs are the fourth deadliest creature on the earth. And also pet birds can spread diseases like bird flu. In Sri Lanka, there are lots of examples of finding pet owners for biting neighbors. There are enough incidents reported in newspapers too. Different breeds have different health problems. We rear pets without this knowledge. British Veterinary Association has found that 75% of owners were unaware of the breed's health problems. Regular baths are must for a pet to keep them away from allergies. But it's not easy as it sounds like, because usually pets hate baths and run away from it. Pets pee and poop is a horrible problem. They pee and poop everywhere in your house and garden. Do you know their pee and poop cause odor problems? After a busy day, you come home to rest. But imagine a living room or a bedroom full of poo and pee. How do you feel about it? The proposition of the friends of this proposition suggested that we can live comfortable by pets and they decrease our cholesterol level and blood pressure. How can you tell like that? I should say this. They decrease while they are not decreasing our blood pressure and cholesterol, but they are increasing it because they are giving us stress. Do you know some countries have prohibited rearing pets? Maldives is an example. You know, some people remove reproductive organs of pets to stop their breeding. How cruel it is. So, my dear brothers and do you like when someone removes your sexual organs? So, my dear brothers and sisters, do you still think that rearing pets is a useful thing?
That concludes the first round for the debate. So now we'll be giving the students a 5-minute time period to prepare for the second round, so that each leader of each team will be giving a speech, where the proposition leader will be giving a speech followed by the opposition leader, who will be concluding the debate. Before I hand it over, I have a small announcement, or rather a small clarification to make. So I am not the judge for today's debate. The judge for today's debate is Mr. Dineth Hettiarachchi. He was the former captain of the Ananda College English debating team. He is a finalist at the Sri Lanka Schools Debating Championship, and he is a current member of the Sri Lanka Debaters Council. So that is the judge for today's debate. So I will be handing over the meeting to the control room for the moment.
Now we're ready to begin the second round of the debate.
Thank you, Binadi. I hope our speakers are ready, and I hope that I'm audible to everyone. And I hope that the speakers, the two leaders of both the teams, have prepared and are ready for the second round. So now, starting the second round, I invite the leader of the opposition team of Sujatha Vidyalaya, Ms. Faraza, to give her speech. The time and the procedure and everything else will be similar to round one.
Honorable Adjudicator, finally, I would like to come to a conclusion of our topic, disadvantages of having a pet. As a pet owner, we should spend our valuable time on a pet. As busy people, we won't be able to spend the time for an animal. That's useless. And you told we have to keep a pet because we feel lonely. What do you mean by loneliness? You mean a person who stays alone? Loneliness doesn't mean that. People want to talk to someone, but if they don't have any person to be friendly, they select a pet to spend their lives. But do you think it is a good option? Pets can talk. They can't understand someone's feelings. So, how can you think that we want a pet to get rid of our loneliness? And the other point is, you have to spend a lot of money for your pet. From buying it till it gets old, you have to spend a lot of money. You said that we can have a pet so that we can have happiness. But without wasting the money on buying a pet, we can give the money and give it to the poor little children who don't have any money. Another point is that cats, dogs, and other pets suffer too much at our hands. We may be able to provide good homes for them, but in the real world, they suffer abandonment, cruelty, and neglect. We are able to provide the full lives that they deserve. Because they are bred to be dependent on us. This relationship forces them to love the owners in order to get affection and food, oftentimes neglecting their animal nature to do so. Also, you have no freedom to go anywhere you like because of your pet. You have to find a place to keep him and you have to pay for it. Train your dog to be friendly with others, and all these things need your hard-earned money. Some would find this disgusting. Dogs lick germs off themselves and anything they get their mouths into. A dog's mouth is full of bacteria and infection which can jump into you easily. So, do you like to get a kiss full of germs and bacteria? Hope your answer is a definite no. Pet ownership is a lifetime commitment, lasting years or decades, depending on the pet. So, before having a pet, you should have a proper plan for them without wasting their lives and yours. And the pet will be full of diseases. A house with a pet is a place where diseases can spread. Their bites would be deadly. Small kids are there in your house. You must be more responsible about your pet and the cleanliness of your house. And do you know that we get rabies from pets? And
I thank the speaker for that interesting speech. Now, I invite the captain of side proposition of Highlands College, Ms. Netushali Adulya, to conclude the debate.
My team members are clearly explained the advantages of having pets. Hence, I like to add some valuable points about my topic. The opposition brought out a point that looking after a pet is a big responsibility, but I would like to say, if you consider all the benefits and the bond between human and beings, it will make all the hard work worthwhile because it is not a big responsibility. I heard the opposition say that having a pet need to spend more money for their food, accessories, veterinarian, etc. But my dear friend, before getting a pet, you should analyze the cost beforehand and evaluate what kind of pet should I get according to my financial situation. If you have a fish tank or something, you don't want to spend more money to keep it. You should remember that before getting a pet, you should know why you should get a pet. If you avoid your longness, keep in mind don't be selfish. If it melt away your longness, you have to keep it as your family member. Why do you think about the costs and responsibilities? The options say that if pets in home are having allergies, but my dear friend, before getting a pet, you must have a positive pet experience. If you clean your pet every day and arrange veterinary care on time, don't be afraid for any allergies. Dr. James Stern, a pediatrician in University of Wisconsin-Madison, says that its kids growing up in home with furry animals, whether it's a pet cat or dog or a farm and exposed to large animals, will have a less risk of allergies and asthma. The opposition say that they can't be away for long leaving your pet in someone else's care. But my dear friend, I already said that pet is also becoming a family member. If you want to long live, you can carry on your pet with you. If can't, you can hire a pet sitter or walker when you aren't home. Honorable judges, I heard the opposition say that diseases could spread through animals. But I would like to say, World Health Organization clearly reported that there is no evidence to domestic pets can transmit diseases. The diseases could spread through human to person contact, but not pet to person. I heard the second speaker said having a pet in the household results in no amount of pet cruelty. But my dear friend, domestic pets require love and affection of humans. Fourth speaker said that third speaker mentioned about urine and waste of pets and etc. But my dear friend, that's why it's important to take care of a pet to understand the responsibility of taking care of another. I heard the opposition say that some pets are disturbing people and wandering outside and cause damage to other people. My dear friend, I already said that if you properly train your pet, they are not disturbing people. Honorable judges and my fellow debaters, so you have seen the argument brought by our team and the refusal to agree with the statements made by the opposition team. I'll leave you with the thoughts that pets bring a vast number of benefits to their human companions, improving every aspect of their owners' lives, health, to their officers, and outlook towards the future. I'm happy to rest my case. Thank you very much.
I thank the leader of side proposition for concluding the debate, and I thank both the teams for that very interesting debate. I believe that they have been able to convince you whether you should have a pet or not. I believe that was a very interesting debate and that they were able to convince you as to whether you should have a pet or not. So we will be coming to you back with the judgment of the debate and with feedback as to how the debate went and also the best speaker of the debate. And it's important to note that both the teams will be getting certificates and in order to commend them for their endeavor and for all the effort that they put into. So over to you, Binali.
Okay, cool. I think I'm live. So I'd like to, first of all, I'd like to thank both teams for like a really great debate. Especially for your age, you guys did like way better than most debaters do. The content that you guys brought up and the responses that you gave within the debate were of really good quality. So I thought for me, the debate I think was really interesting, and I felt like the debate evolved towards the latter part. For example, some of the responses I think came out towards the content that are brought out by different sides came out a bit later towards the debate. So I think this is something that both teams need to work on a bit in terms of responding to the other people's arguments, as opposed to just portraying your own case and trying to win on your merits. But otherwise, I still think that responses did happen on both sides. So good work, kudos for that. In terms of content, I again like the interesting ideas that you guys brought up, as like how animals, pets, they give emotional, they help people become better individuals. And also on the other side, they told us that look, animal is a responsibility. Things like you are taking another, this is essentially a project of taking another life into your own hands. So overall, I feel like the ideas of both teams were really interesting and innovative. So I think for you, so there's not a lot of things I can tell you to like improve yourself for right now because you guys are already pretty good. I think that's pretty much all the feedback I can give without revealing the decision as well. So I'll hand it over to Mr. Dinusha to give the decision.
Thank you, Dinesh, for that feedback. So now, without further waiting, I will first announce as to who the best speaker of this debate was, and then once I'm done with that, I'll be moving on to which team won the debate. So the best speaker of today's debate is Miss Faraza from Sujatha Vidyalaya, from side opposition, the leader of Sujatha Vidyalaya. Now, I'll be moving on to the decision of the debate as to which team won. So the team that won the debate is by a score of 374 versus a score of 373. The winning team is Highlands College. So I congratulate Highlands College for winning the team, and I also congratulate Sujatha Vidyalaya for giving a very good fight and for giving a very interesting debate. And I hope all the debaters will continue debating and would move on and become great speakers in the future. So over to you, Binali.
Thank you, Mr. Dinusha. I take this opportunity to congratulate Highlands College Maharagama for their victory and Sujatha Vidyalaya Nugegoda for their great effort. Let me thank the teachers in charge of the debate societies, Ms. Priyangvada Gunasekara from Highlands College Maharagama, Ms. Chandi Fernando and Ms. Nirupuli Veerasurya from Sujatha Vidyalaya. We are also very grateful for our Vice Principal, Madam Indika Vanigasekara, for encouraging and guiding us right throughout. We are thankful to our teachers and parents for their support given to make this event a success. The IT department of both schools for their amazing support. Thank you. We are also very grateful for the management of Sujatha Vidyalaya for giving us this wonderful opportunity. Thank you and stay safe.